Joining us now to break it all down is Lloyd Axworthy, former Foreign Affairs Minister under Jean Chrétien. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So if you could start by giving us your take on the deals Canada has announced with Qatar. How significant are these in Carney's broader goal to diversify Canada's trading partners?
Well, it's clear he's opened up some conversation and some discussion. I think we have to wait and see what the actual sort of a template is, what is going to be invested in, what will be the nature of our commitments. And so I think that it's all very helpful in trying to diversify what we're doing. The question is, what's the meat and potatoes, not just the menu. And I think that's where we're at right now.
Right, and Carney also announcing that a Canadian delegation will be heading to Qatar, and Carney also saying that he has extended an invitation for Qatari officials to visit Canada. What do you make of Qatar becoming a strategic partner to Canada?
Well, it's not unfraught with issues. I mean, Qatar has a very bad reputation in the world of human rights. If we still are a promoter of those, its treatment of workers, its attitude towards women's rights and things of that kind. So I know that Mr. Carney doesn't want to talk about those things. He said we're dealing with not what should be, but I think that there is some incumbency on Canada to continue to maintain its commitment to some of these broad issues that affect people directly.
How do you expect Carney to tackle the human rights issues?
Well, I think in particular is to start opening up good dialogues. I just recall when we were in power in Mr. Chrétien's government, we engaged with China, but part of my job as a foreign minister was to begin developing opportunities for discussing human rights, of encouraging China to join in on the international human rights agreements. And we did have a fair act of engagement. I also think that it's an opportunity, maybe with Qatar in particular, to become a little bit more involved in the Middle East itself, where I think what's happening in Gaza and the West Bank and things are really issues that Canada for a long time has had a direct interest in. This would be one way of enhancing that.
Carney will be heading to Davos tomorrow. What should we be looking out for there?
Well, I think as your commentator provided, this is an opportunity to make our case very clear. I mean, this is not just a matter of being concerned. I think that the Trump effort to take over Greenland represents one of the most serious threats to Canada's security, its stability, and its sovereignty. This would give the United States total control over the Arctic Ocean. It would begin to determine who comes, who goes, what the exploitation would be. It would ignore the rights of Indigenous people, which Canada has always been a promoter of. And I think that we have to move from being concerned to what actions. The Europeans are now looking at different trade economic responses. I think we should do that. I think we should also be engaged when the foreign minister goes to Greenland about negotiating new agreements on critical minerals. I mean, we share a very important region with the Greenland Indigenous people. That's something that Canada has always promoted. And I just think we have to be more proactive. And I'm hoping that when Parliament comes back to Ottawa next week, that the government will table a requirement for an emergency debate on our issues of Greenland, how we have to stand up to the Americans, and how that this would be an invasion of the rights of people. So let's bring Parliament back into the discussion so the Canadians have a venue to be heard.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Lloyd. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That is Lloyd Axworthy, former Foreign Affairs Minister under Jean Chrétien.